politicize Badush. www.cnh couldn't politicize Badush. There is no positive news yet on the 39 Indian construction workers abducted from Mosul in June 2014. While we would pray hard for their well-being and safety, there is also the fear that King must prepare for the worst. A war was being fought for 3 long years in parts of Iraqi territory between the official Iraqi forces backed by the US and allies, and the terror group ISIS. It is only now that those ranged against the ISIS are claiming victory, at least in Mosul, where the very concept of ISIS was declared to the world in 2014. The relatives of the Indian workers have been living in hope over the fate of their dear ones. It is in dealing with hope that the Indian government may have been overeager and optimistic to the extent of believing in every bit of intelligence and rumor coming out of the war-torn region. To politicize the issue of the government saying it had inputs to the extent that the Indians were being held in the Badush prison is to make capital out of human despondency. Images coming out of Badush from an Indian television channel have dashed all hopes, as there is only rubble there and no prison. What has happened to the Indians likely to have been kept captive there is anybody's guess. It's fine for King to be very disappointed at the positive lead the External Affairs Ministry believed it had. To imagine the Congress would pile on the government by bringing in a privilege motion against the two ministers who spoke about the Badush prison is to think the worst of Indian politics. It's quite possible no one knows anything tangible or credible about the fate of these poor workers. Pray for them but don't add to the misery of their kin in India. Comments. Visit website. Adieu to a calm, unfazed president. www.cnh.com. Due to a calm, unfazed President Pranab Mukherjee, whose 5-year term ends today, will be remembered as the country's most distinctive head of state and also among its more distinguished. In his time in Rashtrapati Bhavan, Mr. Mukherjee transitioned quite seamlessly from being an adept politician administrator, who bore the burden of dozens of high-level duties and connected responsibilities, probably more than any single cabinet-level minister at the center in the annals of Indian administrative affairs, during 2 successive UPA governments of which he was a highly regarded member, to being the calm and unfazed first citizen to whose lot fell the task of maintaining balance as India hit an ideological and political inflection point of extraordinary proportions. Given Mr. Mukherjee's vast experience and acumen, many thought he might be ideal as Prime Minister, but the Congress took him out of the executive branch and made him president instead. There was little out of the ordinary in Mr. Mukherjee's first 2 years in the highest office. The country had a Congress-led government and the president was a man who had risen up the political ladder over 4 decades as a committed congressman of the Nehru-Indira orientation. But cataclysmic political change overtook India in 2014, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi rode to power, determined with his compelling majority in parliament to comprehensively eclipse all traces of the social and political compact developed under the Nehru-Indira political, ideological framework as RSS-driven Hindutva, political Hinduism, thought took center stage. Mr. Mukherjee managed this unprecedented turn in national life with a deep constitutional sense, even some elegance. He asked Mr. Modi's government questions when this became necessary, for example when the PM himself pushed for running important aspects of the administration based on ordinances instead of parliamentary clearance. The president held fast to his secular outlook against which those of the Hindutva orientation chafe, but which is the bedrock on which our democratic structure stands. The finest example of this was his intervention through numerous statements on tolerance and India's core civilizational values in the 2015-16 period when dissidence was under constant attack by leading lights of the establishment and cow vigilante killing of Muslim citizens in the face of governmental silence began to shame us. On the other hand, the president may have disappointed some of his fellow citizens when he refused to express himself, even obliquely, on a single question of policy. In this sense, he turned out to be a textbook president. Mr. Mukherjee's cause was helped by the fact that the PM showered him with institutional courtesy at all times, to the point of calling the president his guide and mentor. The RSS too played it low-key and left the Rashtrapati Bhavan alone to be an island of constitutional good grace. Goodbye, Mr. President, for standing by constitutional proprieties. Comments visit website.